My word of the year this year is curate. Reduce the amount of things. Just really carefully think through what is in, what is out. Welcome to the Differently Aligned podcast for neurodivergent business owners. I'm Adina Levy. I'm an autistic ADHDer, business coach, speech therapist, professional educator, and multiple business owner. I support neurodivergent business owners to create businesses that are sustainable, enjoyable, impactful, profitable, and burnout free. I provide safe spaces for you to share with like-minded community who get it, me included. Everyone is welcome here, whatever your neurotype, gender, race, any other intersections, and special, fantastic, unique things that make you, you are welcome here. This podcast is recorded on the Aboriginal lands of the Gadigal and Bidjigal people. I acknowledge the traditional owners, elders past and present, and I extend my respect to any First Nations people who are listening in. You deserve to have a business that fits your life, your needs, and makes you money. That's what business is for. True story. You might be there to help other people, save the world, change the world, all of that. That's good, but actually you're also running a business. So you deserve to have this business that supports you and fits your life, what you're passionate about, how you like to work, how your energy flows. It gives you the amount of flexibility that you need for your fluctuating capacity, attention, energy, all of those things that you need. You get to build that business. And it's an uncomfortable truth for some people. It's certainly an uncomfortable truth for me that doing less in your business is the key to having this business that works for you. Even saying it, I kind of am coaching myself here. If you have an ADHD brain, if you define yourself as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, which a lot of people talk about, and I think that's kind of code word for ADHD, or maybe ADHD and I don't know it in many cases, you might find this very, very familiar. You might have so many passions and interests. You might be good at many things. You might have these new flashes of excitement where you want to share something with the world and you just are so into it. And it's really hard to talk yourself down from doing that new big shiny thing, creating that thing, selling that thing, whatever it is that might be shifting your attention from having fewer things where you get to focus more deeply on them, you put more effort into them, you do them again and again, so you really hone those things, you become the expert in those things, you become known, you become consistent in those things, and you get better at selling them. They become more profitable, less effortful. I really struggle with this. I almost feel like that second way, the less things, that's more an autistic way of being and thinking. And I am both autistic and ADHD. So I find it really hard. I get this pull between these two sides of me. I really, really see it that way. Whether you relate to this experience of having both neurotypes or whatever your traits are and, however your brain works, you might need to listen to this episode, especially if you are the kind of person who, like me, often feels that you're pulled into doing all the things, saying yes to all the things, chasing all those rabbits. And I'm here to tell you and me, it's okay. And you need to slow it down, do less, say no to things, say maybe later to some things. Let's talk about this in a little bit more specificity. Let's talk about what the risk is if you do follow every idea you have and chase all the bunny rabbits down all those alleyways. Is that where bunny rabbits go? I'm not even sure. The risk, certainly how I live it, is it dilutes my energy. And it means that I'm spreading my thoughts, my energy, my creative power, my time, my efforts across too many different things. It can confuse my clients and customers. I don't know if you experience this, especially if you know me in my two realms. Yeah, like I do more in the fact that I have two businesses. I wear many, many hats. I have many areas of expertise. Now, it was a very careful and deliberate decision for me to carve off part of my interest, passion, and the skills into a second business rather than trying to put everything under the umbrella of the one business. So a little over a year ago, Neurodivergent Business Coaching and Consulting was officially born, but actually I was already doing business coaching and consulting much earlier than that under the banner of my other business where I mostly teach neurodiversity affirming practice to professionals who support children. That's confusing. So what I decided to do was to do two very separate things. Obviously, I refer from one to the other, and I have many people who join me across both businesses. This is my attempt, I hope, at not confusing people so much. But here's the big but. Very often I play a thought experiment and I wonder, what would it look like if I just stopped doing one of the businesses? It terrifies me. The thought terrifies me. I will come back to this thought many times a week. I just need to keep asking myself the question, what would it look like? And I don't know. You really have to live through these experiments. A more realistic view might be, what would it be if I sort of paused being active in one of my businesses for a while? But I don't feel that I want to do that. Both businesses are going very well, and there's different types of things and different pace and cadence that I sell things. They work together at the moment for me. But back to the risks. It's really hard to build momentum when you're constantly shifting direction. Whether that's momentum in the marketplace or momentum within your own work within a day, both scales and both ways of considering momentum, it just can't build when you're scattering your efforts. So as much as it can be really hard to tell yourself, I'm not going to do that idea, or I am going to put that idea on a one-day list, or I am going to stop doing a thing that I currently do. All of these things can be really challenging. They almost feel painful. That certainly is my experience. But sometimes the gain that you get when you do those no, stop, not now choices, it can be massive. I want you to know as well that you can make these choices as temporary decisions. You can allow yourself a pause in something that you do, either delaying starting something or pausing something that you currently do, or even delaying the start date of something. And those things are ways that you can kind of buy yourself time and dip your toe into the doing less without it feeling so final. So if it feels hard for you, try that and then feel the repercussions. How does it feel for you when you do less? Maybe do less means do it slower. That's something I've been doing recently, is actually pushing back the dates of some of my planned launches this year and giving myself more space, because often when I'm planning when I'm going to do launch A for business A and then launch B for business B, and then I try and kind of piggyback one and then do the next, and then I think, actually, I've done this before at that kind of speed between, one launch to the next launch, and that was exhausting, and I don't need to do that. I can slow it down. ADHD brain tries to jump in and say, let's do it all, let's overcommit, let's, yeah, sure, I can do that at the beginning of February and that at the end of February, and, also have a rest in the middle. And no. I actually need to let autistic me jump in and take the reins a little bit more and say, go slower, do less, have a bit of rest, that's okay, and do things more deliberately and carefully and in depth without just rushing through everything. That's where, ADHD me can get me unstuck for sure. But I'm really working on addressing that. In fact, I do have a word of the year this year. I haven't done that for many years, but my word of the year this year is curate, as in to, reduce the amount of things, whatever those things are, but just really carefully think through what is in, what is out. So that's my theme, and that's something I'm, talking about right now and trying really hard to live myself. And as I live it and then appreciate the results of it, I hope that I will actually feel, gain skills in being able to do less as my more regular mode of operation. There's two ways that you can do less. There's like big ways and little ways, and I'm just going to touch on them here. This is something that I teach about and talk about a lot more in my Aligned Action Reset webinar. The recording of that is still available, so if you have registered and haven't watched or listened yet, go follow the links that you've got in your emails and go listen. You'll hear me talk about this in more depth and step you through, more of this process. And there's also a workbook that goes alongside this process. If you have not yet registered for the Aligned Action Reset webinar, the live is done, as you just heard, but the recording is available for you. So you can watch or you can listen, and you can go register now. You'll get that recording straight away. And yeah, so that's if you feel that you want a bit more guidance to work through this thought process. Here, I just wanted to kind of share those top level ideas with you. Some of the do less, these two big different ways. I'll say there's the small and the big way. The small way is to do less day-to-day tasks. How many times have you written on your to-do list, today I'm realistically going to achieve these 10 things, just 10, just these things, yeah. And at the end of the day, you have worked really hard, you've done your absolute best, and you've done 3 of them maybe? I personally find it very hard to have a realistic view of what I can accomplish in a day. I'm not sure I'll ever master this, but all I can do is improve, reflect, improve, reflect, improve, reflect. When it comes to all the tasks and the things that you think you need to do, whether it's in your business or your daily life, but we'll focus here on business, I want you to ask yourself a few questions to sort of filter through, what is on your plate. Think about, what can you let go of? Like, is there any task on your plate that you can just simply say, I'm just not going to do? Maybe it's a regular one and you'll do it with less frequency. So I'm not going to do that weekly. I'm going to do it fortnightly, and that's fine. Or maybe it's something you're just going to stop doing altogether. Maybe it's about automating things inside your business so that there's a lot less that a human has to do. So things like sending out a reminder message should be automatically coming from your calendar and your system, rather than you going, I've got to message Bob and tell him that our appointment's tomorrow. And, I hope that you're not sending manual messages, because automate reminders, automate as much as possible. I have a whole course on this. In fact, I will link it in the show notes, Streamline and Automate Your Business. And the course is called Streamline Your Business for Time Freedom. And it's massive. It is my incredibly well thought out brain dump of helping you understand how you can get your time back, get your energy back, get your hand out of all of these tiny little nitty gritty jobs and tasks, because your systems take care of it and even your automations take care of it. So go and check that out. Link is in the show notes. And in fact, you can get a 10% discount as a podcast listener. There is a code POD10, P-O-D, and then number 10. POD10 will get you 10% off that course anytime you want to access that. Anyway, that is my sidebar, because I'm so passionate about helping you not do all the robot jobs when the robots can do the jobs, and you can get some of your time back. And then you get your clarity, you get your space for freedom, for your hobbies, for, looking after yourself, your body, your family, having creative thinking. All of those things unlock when you have much more time freedom, because the robots are doing their jobs. Other ways that you can do less in your day-to-day tasks, you can defer them. Like I've touched on before, you can say, I'm going to do that later. That's not for now, that's for this week. And breathe through the discomfort of that. And you can also outsource, get support, get help, have somebody else help you do the jobs that you're thinking about if you're really sure that they need to be done. And then the big way that we can do less is about selling less in your business. Less variety of different things. Sell less different offers. Create less different webinars, less different products, less different varieties or versions or options of the things that you sell. It's not the answer for every single business model. I don't know your business model. I don't know your business, and I'd love to. And if you'd like me to get to know you and your business more personally, I really would encourage you and invite you to check out the Your Aligned Business Journey group coaching program. It starts quite soon. At the time I'm recording, there's still a few spots left, but I'm not sure. When this episode comes out, there may or may not be. Go and check the link in the show notes. You'll either be able to find out information about the Your Aligned Business Journey group coaching program. If it's open for registration, you can pop your name there. If there's a wait list as well, all the live info will be there, depending on whenever you're listening to this. But that is one of the best ways that you can get my brain in your business to help you curate your own offers and products and services, and help you figure out what is that most cultivated, curated flow that should hopefully allow you to funnel your efforts and energy really into the right, most profitable, but also for you most enjoyable spaces in your business. And then the result, more profit, more ease, more focus, more time off as well, I hope. I really hope that for you. You deserve it. You deserve some rest. It's true. We all do. So I hope that you've got a couple of ideas of ways that you can do less with your daily tasks, ways that you can think about doing less in all the different things that you sell. Please join me by listening or watching the Aligned Action Reset webinar. Link is in the show notes for everything that you need to go and find. And as I said, if you want to get in touch with me about your Aligned Business Journey group coaching program, I would love to hear from you. So please go check the links, keep me posted, and I would love to hear your takeaways. So if you've listened or watched this episode and you've taken action, like if you've literally just crossed something off your to-do list, I'm proud of you. And I want you to snap a photo and share it with me on Instagram. I would love that. Or just send me a message. Let me know what you've taken away and how else I can support you. Thank you so much for listening. Get in touch with me on Instagram. You'll find me there, neurodivergent.business. Have a beautiful day.